Your hand is resting on the blanket right now, warm and certain, and sure that it is touching. You don't have to move it. You don't have to do anything at all tonight. Just let it lie there, wherever it has come to rest, on the soft weight of the cover that's settled over you. And without even trying, you can feel it. The blanket is there, under your palm, under the curl of your fingers. You know it the way you know your own name, without thinking, without checking, without the smallest flicker of doubt. The cloth is there, and your hand is on it, and the two of them are touching. Of course they are. What could be plainer than that? It's such a quiet, ordinary thing. The hand on the cover, heavier than you usually notice, now that the day is done and you've stopped asking it to do anything. A little warm, a little tired maybe, in the good way. And underneath it, the blanket gives back that same soft warmth, holds the shape of your hand the way a held thing does, presses up to meet you exactly as much as you press down. You don't think about it. You've never had to. It's simply true, the way the floor is true, and the wall is true, and the pillow under your head is true, there. Solid, touching you, holding you, real. It's funny when you let yourself notice it, how completely we trust this. Touch might be the surest thing we have. We doubt almost everything else, sooner or later. We wonder if we heard a thing right, or saw it right, or remembered it right. We squint at the far edge of a dark room and aren't quite certain what's there. But touch, we never question. If we can feel a thing, it's real. If our hand is on it, it's there. That's the whole quiet bargain we've made with the world since before we had any words for it. Reach out, and what your skin meets, you can believe in. A child learns the world that way, with both small hands, by touching everything in reach. We never really stop. All our lives, when we want to be sure of something, we reach out and put a hand to it, and the touching settles it. There. Real. I felt it. So your hand on the blanket is about as certain gets. The warmth, the soft weight, the gentle press of the weave against your skin, all of it arriving so smoothly, so instantly, that there isn't even a gap between feeling it and believing it. They're the same thing. The feeling is the believing. Lie here a moment and let it be exactly that simple. The hand, the cover, the touching, the surest small fact in the whole dark room. And yet, here is the strange, soft little thing I've been turning over. The thing I wanted to wonder about with you tonight, slowly, with no hurry at all. Because it may be, and people who have looked very closely seem to think it's so, that, in the truest sense, down where things are far too small for us to feel, your hand isn't quite touching the blanket at all. Not quite, not really, not the way you've always meant by touching. I know, it sounds like the kind of thing that ought to bother a person, but stay with it gently because it doesn't have to. Nothing has changed in the room. The warmth is still warm. The weight is still there, soft and certain over you. Your hand still rests exactly where it rests, and it still feels, beyond any doubt, like it's pressed against the cloth. All of that is just as real as it was a moment ago. Keep all of it. We're not taking anything away. We're only going to wonder, quietly, what's actually happening down underneath that feeling, somewhere far smaller than anything a hand could ever notice. Because if you could go down past what the eye can see, down past even what the finest instrument can see, down to the tiniest pieces that your skin is made of, and the tiniest pieces the blanket is made of, somewhere down in that unimaginably small place, the story seems to be that they never actually meet. The skin and the cloth, they come close. They come astonishingly, breathtakingly close. But there's always the thinnest sliver of distance kept between them. A gap so small it has no business mattering, and yet it's always there. A hair's breadth, less than that, so much less that the words run out, but there. You've been resting your hand on this gap your whole life and never once felt it. It's almost too gentle to believe. Everything you've ever touched, every hand you've held, every cool glass of water, every warm cup, every cheek, every page, every doorknob in the dark, all of it, held just slightly apart from you. Always that little space kept open, never quite closed. And you never knew because the space is so small that the feeling of touching crosses it without the slightest trouble. The warmth still comes through. The pressure still comes through. The sureness still comes through. The gap loses you nothing at all. It just quietly, faithfully refuses to disappear. Let it be a curiosity, not a worry. There's nothing here to solve, nothing here to fix, nothing you've been getting wrong all this time. Your hand is exactly where you think it is. The blanket is exactly as real as it feels. You can keep believing in every bit of it. We're only lying here in the dark, you and I, wondering at something small and quiet that turns out to have been true all along. The way you might wonder at a star you'd never noticed before in a sky you've looked at 1,000 nights. It doesn't ask anything of you. It just is, softly, whether you wonder at it or not. And tonight, there's nothing better to do with the slow minutes than to wonder at it a little, and then to let it go. Feel your hand again where it lies. Don't move it, just feel it. The warmth that you'd swear is the warmth of contact. The weight that feels exactly like one thing resting fully against another. And underneath all of that, so far underneath that you'll never feel it directly, that hush of distance. That tiny, patient space that has been there the whole time, between you and everything you have ever called solid. Your hand, hovering by the smallest margin there, is above the cover that holds you. It changes nothing about how it feels. That's the part I keep coming back to in the dark slowly. It changes nothing at all. The feeling is honest. The warmth is honest. The being held is honest. The only thing that's a little different from what you always assumed is the meeting itself, that last, final, perfect closing of the distance that you'd have sworn was happening. And that, it seems, never quite does. Which leaves a soft and lovely sort of question to lie here inside of, with no need ever to answer it. If your hand isn't truly touching the blanket, if nothing you've ever touched was ever quite touched at all, then what is this? What is this warm, certain, faithful thing we've been calling touch our whole lives? What is actually happening down in that little kept open space, where the skin comes near the cloth and stops, and something passes across the gap anyway, and arrives in you as warmth, as weight, as the plain, sure knowledge that you are resting on something that will hold you. What is touch, really, if it isn't the meeting we always thought it was? Stay with that softly as you lie here, not to figure it out, just to wonder at it. The hand on the blanket, the little gap that never closes, the warmth that crosses it anyway. And somewhere down underneath all that certainty, something very small and very patient, quietly keeping you a hair's breadth apart from the whole world, and somehow, in doing it, holding you. When two things come close enough to touch, something very small and very patient happens between them. I don't fully understand it, and I don't think anyone needs to, not tonight, not lying here in the dark with the day already behind you. But the shape of it is gentle enough to hold in the mind without effort, and it's a soft thing to drift along beside. So let's wonder at it slowly, the two of us, the way you'd follow a slow river with your eyes and not your feet. Everything is made of the tiniest pieces. You've heard that since you were small, that the hand and the blanket and the water and the air are all built up out of specks too little to see, and those specks out of littler ones still, all the way down to grains so small the word *small stops meaning very much. Let that just be true for now. the way a thing is true in a story before bed. Tiny pieces, uncountable, making up your warm and resting hand. Tiny pieces, uncountable, making up the soft weight of the cover over you. And between those two crowds of tiny things, when your hand comes down to rest, the whole quiet business of touching takes place. Not where you can feel it, but far below feeling, down in that hush where the grains live. Here is what seems to happen, as near as anyone can tell. The little pieces of your hand drift down toward the little pieces of the blanket. Closer, closer. They come near to one another the way you might lean slowly towards someone in the dark, not rushing, just nearing. And the nearer they come, the more something between them begins, very softly, to push. Not hard, not all at once. Just a growing, gathering gentleness of resistance, the faintest no asterisk, swelling up out of nothing as the distance shrinks, until the pushing apart exactly answers the pressing down, and there they hover. Held, the grains of your hand and the grains of the cloth, facing one another across a sliver of kept space, each one declining, ever so politely, to come any closer than that. That's the touching. That little standoff, repeated over and over, in numbers past imagining, all across the soft underside of your palm. That's the whole of it. What you feel as the blanket meeting your skin is really that a vast, quiet field of tiny refusals, each one too small to notice. All of them together adding up to the plain, warm certainty that your hand is resting on something. It's strange to say it that way, and I want to say it softly, because the word can sound colder than the thing it points at. Refusal. As though the world were turning you away, but it isn't like that at all. Lie here and feel how unlike that it is. There's no rejection in it, nothing withheld, nothing that leaves you wanting. The pushing back isn't the world keeping you out. It's the world holding its shape so that you have something to rest on. It's the blanket staying the blanket instead of dissolving into your hand staying your hand instead of melting into the cloth. The little no asterisk the grains say to one another is the very thing that lets there be a hand at all, and a cover at all, and a soft place for the one to lie upon the other. It's not the world pushing you away. It's the world agreeing to stay where it is, so you can lean on it. So maybe refusal asterisk, isn't quite the word. Or maybe it's the word with all the sharpness taken out of it. A refusal that feels, from up here where we live, exactly like welcome. The grains decline to merge, and what comes of their declining is everything soft and solid you have ever leaned your tired weight against. Isn't that a kind thing when you turn it over slowly? The little distance they keep is not a coldness. It's the reason there's anything to hold you at all. And here's the part I keep coming back to, lying awake and letting it turn, that the pushing is what you feel. Not the meeting. There is no meeting. But the pushing is utterly, honestly real. And it's the pushing that travels all the way up from that tiny hush into the great slow world of your hand and your skin and your drowsy attention, and arrives in you as warmth, as weight, as pressure, as the simple sureness of contact. Nothing about that feeling is a trick. Nothing about it is less than it seemed. The warmth of the cover is real warmth. The weight of it is real weight. The soft press of the weave against the back of your hand is a real press, faithfully reported, exactly as firm as it feels. All of it true, all of it arriving in you just as it always has. The only thing that turns out to be a little different from what you'd always assumed is the very last step, the closing of the gap, the actual coming together of one surface and another. That part, it seems, never happens. The grains lean toward each other and stop, and across the tiny space they leave between them, the pushing passes anyway, the warmth passes anyway. The whole certainty of being held passes anyway, and reaches you whole, having lost nothing in the crossing. The contact was never the point. The contact was never even there. And still, everything you ever felt through it was honest. I find that a tender thing to lie inside of, that you could be wrong about the meeting and right about all the rest, that the touching you trusted your whole life wasn't quite a touching, and yet not one bit of what it gave you was false. The comfort was real comfort. The warmth was real warmth. The held feeling was real being held. Only the merging, only that final perfect closing you never once doubted. Only that turns out to have been a kind of beautiful near miss, happening just below where any hand could feel the difference. And I want to keep this gentle, the way I said. I'm not telling you how the world is, the way you'd be told a hard fact you had to swallow. I don't know how the world is. The people who spend their lives looking very closely at the smallest things tell us this is the way those things seem to behave, that they keep their little distances, that they push softly back, that they decline to fall into one another, and that what we call solidity and touch and contact is woven entirely out of that soft declining. They could be seeing it not quite right. People often are. The very small is far away from us and hard to know. So hold it loosely. Let it be less a fact you have to carry, and more a quiet secret the world seems to have been keeping all this while, told to you now in a low voice, in the dark, with nothing riding on whether you believe it. A secret that asks nothing. That's the kindest part. You don't have to do anything with it. You don't have to decide if it's so. You don't have to feel your hand any differently than you ever have, and you couldn't if you tried. The gap is far too small to feel, and the warmth comes through it just the same. It's only a soft place to rest your wondering for a while, here where there's nothing else you need to be doing, nothing to settle, nowhere to be. The tiny grains, leaning close and stopping. The little space they keep, the warmth that crosses it without trouble. That's all. Let it be that and no more. And the longer I lie with it, the more the wonder slides away from the gap itself, away from that thin kept distance, and toward the things on either side of it, toward the grains themselves. Because if these tiny pieces never quite touch, if even the most solid-seeming thing is really a crowd of little somethings holding one another softly apart, then I start to wonder what the little somethings are. What's inside them? What it's actually like down there, in the place the cover is made of, and the place your hand is made of, far below the smooth, warm surface of how it all feels. I had always pictured them, I think, without ever quite meaning to, these smallest grains, as little solid beads. Tiny pebbles packed close, the way sand is packed close on a beach, hard little things resting against hard little things. That's the picture that comes when no one's looking. Specks like the smallest stones, too small to see, but stones all the same. Full, dense, solid the way I thought everything was solid. But that doesn't seem to be it either. That doesn't seem to be it at all. And this is where the wondering goes even softer, even slower, even quieter, down past the gap between the grains, and into the grains themselves, into the strange and spacious insides of these little things that spend all their time, so patiently, holding one another, and you, a hair's breadth apart. If you could go on down, past the gap between the grains and into the grains themselves, into one single one of those tiny pieces your hand is made of, if you could stand inside it somehow and look around, the thing you would notice first, I think, is the quiet, the room of it, the sheer, soft emptiness of the place. Because each of those little pieces, each of those grains we've been calling the smallest things, turns out to be almost nothing at all, almost entirely empty. A tiny, tiny center, dense and small beyond any picturing, and then around it, space, stillness, an enormous hush of nothing, vast in proportion to the speck at its heart, with only the faintest, far-flung something drifting somewhere out at the edges of it. That's the grain. That's the brick the whole solid world is built from. A minute center, and a great soft roominess around it, and almost all of it empty. I have to slow right down to even hold that, lying here. They tell it in numbers, the people who look closely, and the numbers are no help at all to a sleepy mind, so let me not reach for them. Let me reach for something gentler instead. Picture the center of one of these grains, as small as a single grain of sand, set down in the middle of a great, dark, quiet hall. Not a room, a hall, a vast, still empty hall with the one grain of sand resting at its heart, and nothing else, nothing at all the way out to the distant walls. That is roughly how much of an atom is anything, and how much of it is hush. One little grain, and all that patient room around it, and the world is made of these, uncountably many of these, each one a tiny somewhere afloat in its own wide quiet. So here is the soft, strange place that thought arrives at, if you follow it without hurrying. Everything you have ever called solid is mostly empty space. The blanket over you, mostly space. The pillow under your head, mostly space. The walls of the room holding the dark in around you, the floor under the bed itself, the cup on the table, the window, the still ground far underneath the house. All of it, every solid, faithful thing, mostly nothing at all. A weave of tiny centers, each one alone in its own wide hush, all of them held into shape and held apart from one another by that quiet pushing we wondered at before. Not packed full, the way I always somehow imagined. Not dense and brimming, almost empty and only seeming full. The solidity was never a fullness. It was a pattern, a standing together of near-nothings, kept in their places by a gentle, tireless force. Your own hand resting there on the cover. Mostly space. The warm, certain weight of it, the skin and the bones and the slow blood, woven every bit of it, out of these little roomy grains with all their soft emptiness inside. You are, if this is so, far more hush than stuff, far more quiet than thing. A drifting host of tiny centers, each in its wide, still hall, and between them and around them and all through them, that vast and gentle space. And it doesn't feel that way, not even slightly. It feels full and warm and here. But underneath the feeling, it seems, you are nearly weightless with emptiness, nearly all stillness, nearly all room. Now I know how that could land, if a person met it at the wrong hour, in the wrong mood. It could come as a kind of falling, mostly nothing. It could open under you like a long drop, that the bed is barely there, that the floor is barely there, that you yourself are barely there, that all the solid world is a thin-held shimmer over a great deal of empty dark. I felt the edge of that before, the small, cold start of it, and I don't want us to go anywhere near it tonight, because it isn't the truer feeling. It's only the first one, the startled one. Stay a little longer, and it softens into something else entirely. Stay a little longer, and the emptiness stops being a drop and becomes a kind of mercy. Because you are not standing at the edge of all that space, looking down into it as if it were a pit. You are made of it. You're not a full and solid thing perched precariously over a hollow world. You're the same soft weave as everything around you, the same near nothing, the same quiet centers afloat in the same quiet room. You belong to it. The emptiness in your hand is the same kind of emptiness as the emptiness in the blanket and the wall and the far still ground. You aren't a stranger to all that space. You're cut from it, woven of it. It isn't underneath you waiting to swallow you. It's what you already are and have always been every night you ever slept soundly without knowing the first thing about it. And there's something almost tender in being that small when you let it be tender. All your life, the smallness of things has mostly been told to you as a fright. How little you are against the great wide everything, how brief, how slight. But here the smallness goes the other way, goes inward instead of outward, and it turns soft. You are made of pieces so small that the word loses its footing, and each of those pieces is itself almost wholly gentle space, and the whole of you is this faint and roomy and quiet, and none of it has ever asked you to hold it together. You don't keep yourself solid by trying. You never have. The weave holds. The quiet force holds. The little centers keep their distances and keep their shapes and keep on being a hand, a shoulder, a slow, warm, resting body, all on their own, all night, while you do nothing at all but lie here and breathe. That's the part I keep coming back to, lying in the dark and turning it over slow. Not that it's mostly empty, that an empty thing should hold so well. Think of it, almost nothing, this hand, this bed, this wall, almost all hush and space and the faintest scattering of somewhere. And yet it holds its shape so faithfully that you have never once felt it waver. The cup keeps being a cup. The floor keeps being the floor. The blanket keeps its soft, particular weight across you, exactly as much tonight as last night, never thinning, never slipping, never for one instant forgetting how to be a blanket. All that emptiness, and not the slightest wobble in the world it makes. The near nothing keeps its promise. The roomy little grains keep their patient places. And the shape of everything you lean on stays whole around you, hour after hour, asking nothing, simply holding, the way it held last night and the night before and every night you can't remember. It does it without effort, that's the thing. Or without anything we'd know as effort. The force that keeps the centers apart and the shapes intact doesn't strain, doesn't tire, doesn't slacken when the day grows late. It isn't holding on the way tired arms hold on, the way you hold on when you're trying. It just holds, the way the dark just is, the way the night just stays. All that emptiness organized so gently into wall and floor and pillow and hand, and kept that way, steadily, while you let go of everything and sink. So let the smallness be a kindness tonight. Let the emptiness be roomy rather than empty. You are a soft, wide, quiet thing made of soft, wide, quiet things, resting on other soft, wide, quiet things, all of you woven of far more stillness than substance, and still, somehow here, still warm, still whole, still held. The hush inside the grains is the same hush settling over the room, the same hush settling over you. And there is so much more space in everything than anyone ever feels, and not one bit of it is anything to fear. It's only roomy. It's only quiet. It's only the gentle nearly nothing that you, and the night, and the bed beneath you are all alike made of. And the strange thing is how it doesn't change the room at all to know it. You can wonder your way down into the emptiest heart of the smallest grain, and then come drifting back up out of the tiny still hall, up through the soft weave, up past the gap that never closes, and arrive again right here in the ordinary dark, where nothing looks any different than it ever did. The wall is still the wall. The window still holds its faint pale square of night. The cover is still warm across you, still soft, still exactly as heavy as a cover should be. None of it has gotten any thinner for being mostly space. None of it holds you any less for being mostly hush. If anything, it holds you a little more kindly, now that you've seen what it's made of. All these firm and faithful things around you in the dark. The floor keeping its level, the walls keeping their patient square, the bed keeping its shape under your shape. All of them nearly empty, all of them near nothing, and all of them, every one, still quietly doing the steady work of being solid for you, just above that little gap, just for tonight. The room is still here. The firm things are still here. They never needed to be full to hold you. They only needed to keep their shapes, and they do, and they will, all the long way through till morning, while you let yourself grow heavier and slower and let them take the weight. The floor under your feet, the weight of the cover over you, that firmness is the same gentle no, said very quietly. I keep wanting to come back up out of the smallness now, up to where we actually live, to the plain, firm things in the dark around you, because that's where it turns soft and useful. That's where the wondering stops being a strange, far-off fact and becomes something you can lie down inside of. So let it rise back up with me, slowly. Out of the tiny, still hall, out of the soft weave, back to the bed, the room, the ordinary held weight of you in the dark. And let's just notice, gently, that every solid thing you can feel right now is doing that same quiet thing. The same soft refusal. The same little pushing back, far too small to see, repeated past all counting, and arriving in you as nothing more or less than firmness. The floor if your feet were on it. The chair if you were sitting. The wall your hand might be near. The pillow under your head, holding the weight of all your thinking. The blanket settling its soft heaviness over you exactly as much as it always does. Every one of them. None of them truly meeting you, all of them holding you anyway. What you feel as the hard, true floor, and the soft, true cover, and the firm, true bed is, every bit of it, that same patient field of tiny somethings declining to fall into one another, and declining just as gently to let you fall into them. The whole solid world, when you lie still and listen to it this way, is one quiet held distance, felt from up here as the simple fact that things are there and that they hold. It's such a tender thing to turn over the longer the night gets. That the firmness was never a hardness. We say a floor is hard, we say the ground is solid, and we mean something stern by it, something that would stop you, something unyielding. But underneath, it isn't stern at all. It's that same soft, swelling no the little grains say to one another as they near, the faintest gathering of resistance, the gentlest unwillingness to merge, only multiplied so vastly, said by so many tiny somethings all at once, that it adds up to a thing that can hold the whole weight of you without the slightest strain. The hardness of the world is built entirely out of softness, out of countless small refusals, each one almost nothing, each one a kind of politeness, all of them together making the firm and faithful ground you have trusted your whole life without once knowing what it was made of. And here is the thing I keep lying still inside of tonight, the soft, strange heart of it. You have slept in this bed, or a bed, some soft, held place in the dark, 1,000 nights. More than 1,000, night after night after night, lying down and letting your weight go and sinking into it and resting. And in all those nights, if this is so, you have never once lain on it, not truly, not the way you always thought. Every single night, you have come to rest just above it, a hair's breadth above, floating by the smallest margin there is, on that quiet field of pushing back, held up off the surface of everything you believed you were lying on. 1,000 nights, and never once touching the bed, only ever hovering the tiniest distance up carried, and you slept just fine. You slept beautifully, some of those nights never knowing, never needing to know, held the whole night through by something that never once let you settle the last little way down. And you didn't lose a moment of rest to it, because the holding was perfect, and the gap was nothing, and the warmth and the weight came through it whole. You were floating all along. Every good night's sleep you ever had, you spent afloat, just above the world, on a force too small and too steady to feel. And it held. It always held. I find I have to slow right down when that one settles in, because it changes how the word solid asterisk sounds. Solid stops meaning packed and hard, and stops meaning a thing you press against. It starts to mean, instead, a kind of agreement. That's the gentlest way I've found to hold it, lying here. Solidity as an agreement, as a quiet, standing, faithful arrangement between the things of the world, that matter will not fall through matter, that the bed will not let you sink into it and keep going, that the floor will not give way and swallow your foot, that the little somethings you are made of and the little somethings the bed is made of will keep their distances and hold their shapes and decline very gently and very reliably to pass through one another. Not because anything is hard, because everything has agreed. And there's no effort in the agreeing. The way I said before, that's the part that lets you rest in it. The bed isn't trying to hold you up. The floor isn't bracing. Nothing down there is gritting its teeth against your weight, the way a tired person braces to carry a tired person. It simply holds, the way the night simply stays dark, the way the ground simply stays where it is. The agreement is older than any effort, older than anything that could tire. It was already holding the first night you ever slept, and it will be holding the last, and it asks for nothing in between, but that you lie down and let it. So let it. Let the bed hold you the way it has always actually held you, not by your lying on it, but by its quiet refusal to let you fall. Let the pillow do its patient work under your head. Let the cover press its soft weight down and feel, underneath that softness, the steady answering push that holds the weight of it just off your skin, the same little no, said gently, all night. You don't have to hold any of yourself up. You never did. Every place your body meets the bed is a place where something is agreeing, right now, this very moment, to hold you and not give way. Hundreds of those places, all of them holding, all of them keeping the bargain. You can let the whole of your weight down into them and they will not stop holding, because it isn't really holding the way arms hold. It's the world simply staying the world, simply keeping its shapes, simply being unwilling in its soft and tireless way to let one thing fall through another. It's the same everywhere once you start to see it. That's what widens it out so kindly. The very same force, the very same quiet agreement, doing all the small, faithful work of the world at once. The cup on the table holds the water, keeps it from slipping away through the clay, by that same refusal of the little somethings to let other little somethings through. The table holds the cup. The floor holds the table. The ground holds the floor and the whole house and the bed and you, all of it, all the way down. The same gentle pushing back that keeps your hand from sinking into the blanket is the very same thing, scaled up past imagining, that keeps you from sinking into the floor, and keeps the floor from sinking into the earth, and keeps the earth holding firm beneath the whole sleeping weight of everything that rests on it tonight. One force. One soft, tireless, universal no. Holding the water in the cup, and holding you on the round of the world at the very same time, with the very same patience, asking nothing of either of you. And it is old. That's a thing I like to lie inside of, near the bottom of the night. This force that holds you just above the bed is not new, and it is not yours, and it is not for you alone. It is as old as there have been things to hold apart. It was keeping shapes and keeping distances long, long before there was anyone to lie down and be held by it, and it will be keeping them long after. It held the ground steady under every night that ever was. It will hold this same ground steady under every night to come. And tonight, this small late tonight, it is bending all that ancient steadiness to the simple work of holding you, your weight, your warmth, your tired and slowing body, a hair's breadth above the bed. The way it has held every resting thing since the very beginning, faithfully, without effort, without end. So there's nothing you need to do now, but let go of your own weight and let the old force take it. You don't have to keep yourself up. You don't have to press back. You don't have to meet the bed halfway or hold any part of yourself together. It's all being held already, all being kept already. The shape of you maintained from the inside and supported from beneath by something that has never once, in all the long age of the world, grown tired of holding things up. Let your shoulders be heavy. Let your hands lie wherever they've fallen. Let the back of you sink down toward the bed as far as it likes, knowing it will be caught, gently, just short of the surface, the way it has always been caught and held there, floating all night. And the strange, soft beauty of it, the thing my mind keeps drifting toward as it slows, is that none of this holding is touching, and none of it loses anything for that. You are held without being touched, carried without being met, kept all night long just above everything by a force that never quite makes contact and never once lets go. The gap is always there. The holding is always there, and not one bit of the comfort is the poorer for the gap, which is the thing, I think, that I most wanted to come round to with you, here in the low part of the night, where it all turns tender. Because if the world can hold you that completely across that little kept distance, if firmness and floor and the whole patient earth can carry you without ever once truly touching you, then maybe the gap was never the lack we'd have feared it to be. Maybe nothing that matters needs the meeting at all. And the warmth that crosses it and the weight that crosses it are not the only things that cross that little space without ever closing it. There are softer things than floors that reach across exactly the same gap. There are tenderer things than blankets that hold us the very same way, a hair's breadth apart, and lose nothing, nothing at all, for never quite touching. So when a hand holds yours, it too is held the tiniest distance away. And still, somehow, all of it reaches you. That's where the thought wants to go now, here in the soft, low middle of the night. And I want to follow it slowly, because it gets kinder the further in it goes. We've wondered at the floor and the bed, and the patient old force that holds the whole weight of you a hair above everything. And all of that was true, and all of it held. But the floor is not the tenderest thing that ever touched you without touching you. There are gentler hands than floors, and they reach across exactly the same little gap, and they lose nothing for it either. Think of a hand holding yours. You felt it, someone's hand closed warm around your own, in the dark, or across a table, or walking somewhere slow. And you'd have sworn on anything, that there was no gap in that at all. That a held hand is the closest two things can come, that whatever else might keep its little distance, surely asterisk this meets, surely asterisk this one finally closes. And yet, if the quiet story we've been wondering at is so, then even there, even in the warmest clasp, there is the little somethings of one hand, and the little somethings of the other lean as near as they can come, and stop, and hover, a hair's breadth apart, declining ever so gently to merge. A held hand is held across the gap too. Even that never quite touches. And here is the thing I have to say very softly, because it's the whole of why I wanted to lie here and wonder this with you. It loses nothing. Nothing at all. The warmth of that hand was real warmth. The weight of it, the gentle pressure of those fingers around yours, the steady there-ness of it, every bit of that was real. And every bit of it reached you, crossed the little space, and arrived in you whole, exactly as much comfort as it ever seemed to be. The meeting was never the thing. The meeting was never even there. And not 1 degree of the warmth was the poorer for it. So let that settle slowly, the way everything settles at this hour. All the held hands of your whole life, every one of them held you across that same small kept distance, and every one of them still reached you. Nothing waited in the gap to take anything away. The gap took nothing. It only ever let the warmth across. And it isn't only hands. Think of arms around someone, arms around a child, the way you hold a small sleeping weight against you, or the way you were held once, long ago, before you could remember being held. That too, if you go all the way down, is a nearness and not a meeting. The little somethings of the one and the little somethings of the other, leaning close and stopping, and keeping their soft, faithful distance all down the length of that embrace, held apart the whole time. And still, you know this, you felt this, still nothing in the world feels closer than being held like that. Still the whole of it crosses. The warmth crosses. The safety crosses. Whatever it is that passes between two people who hold each other in the dark, it crosses that little gap without the slightest trouble, and arrives, and is enough, and was always enough. The love crosses it. That's the part I keep coming back to, lying here turning it over slow. The very same force, the same quiet pushing back that keeps the atoms a hair apart, the same soft refusal that holds the bed just under you and the floor just under that, that same force is what carries the warmth of a held hand into you. It's not in the way of the closeness. It is asterisk the closeness. The thing that keeps the two of you from ever quite touching is the very thing that lets you feel each other at all. Without that gentle holding apart, there'd be no warmth to cross, no pressure to feel, no shape to a hand for yours to close around. The little distance isn't what keeps love out. The little distance is what love travels on. It rides across on the same patient no that holds the whole world, its tender hair's breadth apart. And it loses nothing in the crossing, nothing, the way the warmth of the blanket loses nothing, the way the weight of the cover loses nothing. Isn't that a soft thing to know, near the bottom of the night? That you were never quite touched by any of it, not by the hands that held you, not by the arms that carried you, not by anyone who ever drew you close, and that all of it reached you anyway, all of it whole. That the closeness was real even though the contact never was. That nothing you ever felt through another's nearness was a smaller thing for the little gap that was always, quietly, there. And once you let it widens to everything. Lie here and let it. The rain on the roof, those nights you've heard it, the rain doesn't quite touch the roof either. It comes down, and it meets that same soft refusal, and what you hear, that gentle patter all through the dark over your head, is the sound of countless little nearnesses, drops arriving and being held the smallest distance off, never quite landing, and lovely all the same. A foot on a path doesn't quite touch the path, it presses near, and is pushed gently back, all day, every step anyone ever took, a whole life of walking and never once touching the ground, and carried the whole way regardless. A cup set down on a table, a cheek against a pillow, two hands clasped, the whole soft business of the world meeting itself, none of it quite a meeting, all of it a held nearness, all of it leaning close and stopping just short and losing nothing for the little space it keeps. The whole world, when you lie still and listen to it this way, is near to itself without ever closing the distance, everything almost touching everything. Everything held just off everything else by that same gentle, tireless, universal hand's breadth. And nothing the poorer. That's the thing. That's the thing I'd want you to drift off holding if you held any of it. Not one warm thing in your whole life was made smaller by the gap. The gap was never a lack. We'd have feared it a lack, I think, if someone had only told us the cold half of it. You never truly touched anything. No one ever truly touched you and left it there, sharp, in the dark. But that's only the startled first half. The way mostly empty was only the startled first half. Stay a little longer, and it turns all the way over into its tenderer truth. You were near to everything. You were held by everything. And the little distance that was always there is the very thing that let the warmth keep crossing. All your life, faithfully, losing nothing. The nearness was enough. It was always enough. It has always been enough. You don't need the meeting. You never did. You were never waiting on that last impossible closing of the gap. You only thought you were, because no one had told you the gap was there. And so you'd quietly imagined that all your warmth came from a touching that never actually happened. But it didn't come from the touching. It came across the little space. It came on the warmth and the weight and the patient holding, the way it's coming to you right now, this very moment, from the cover settled over you and the bed beneath you and the soft dark closed gently around the whole of you. All of it near, none of it quite touching, none of it the poorer. And I can feel the thought beginning to thin now, the way thoughts do at this hour, slowing, going quiet at the edges. All those nearnesses, the held hand, the arms in the dark, the rain, the path, the clasped hands, the whole soft, almost touching world, they're starting to drift back together into one. Back down toward the simplest nearness of them all. The one that's holding you right now. You, here, the little gap, the warmth crossing it. Something patient holding you a hair's breadth above everything, and reaching you anyway, whole, asking nothing, the way it always has. Just that now, just you here being held. So you are held tonight, all night, and never quite touched. And that is a soft thing, not a strange one. I think I was a little afraid of it when I first went looking, that a person could go a whole life and never truly touch a single thing. It sounds, said quickly, like a kind of loneliness, as if we'd all been kept just out of reach of the world, and the world kept just out of reach of us, each of us sealed off by a hair's breadth we could never cross. But it isn't that. Lie here and feel how it isn't that. The little gap was never a wall between you and the world. It was the way the world came near you and held you without ever having to crush you into itself. It was always a tenderness. You were never shut out. You were only ever cradled, the smallest distance up, by something that didn't need to touch you to keep you. And it has kept you. That's the part to rest in now. All this long while, every night you can remember and every night you can't, it has kept you. The same soft, patient holding under every bed you ever slept in, across the back of every chair, through every hand that ever closed warm around yours. You didn't have to know it was there. You didn't have to thank it or understand it or stay awake for it. It held you anyway. It is holding you now. So you can let go. That's all there is to do tonight, and you don't even have to do that. It does itself if you stop holding on. You can let the whole weight of yourself down now. All of it. The weight of your arms, the weight of your legs gone heavy, the weight of your head sunk into the pillow, the weight of the day you are carrying that you can set down too, because nothing tonight is yours to hold up. It is all being held. It was always being held. You can simply stop and sink and be carried. Let the weight go out of your hands. They don't have to hold anything. They've held enough. Let them lie open and easy wherever they've come to rest, just above the cover, a hair's breadth above it, the way they always were. Let your shoulders come down. Let your back grow heavy and let the bed catch it, gently, just short, the way it always has. There is nothing under you that will give way. There is nothing you have to brace against. The old force has the whole of you now, and it does not tire, and it will not let you fall. It asks nothing of you. I keep coming back to that, here at the soft bottom of the night. It asks nothing. It doesn't need you awake. It doesn't need you grateful. It doesn't need you to follow the thought any further or to remember a word of it in the morning. It holds the sleeping just as faithfully as the waking. It held you before you knew it was there, and it will go on holding you long after you've drifted past knowing anything at all. You can let your mind go loose now. You don't have to keep hold of the idea. Let it slip the way your hands have slipped open. Let it be held too, because you don't have to carry the wondering either. It was only ever a soft thing to drift along beside, and we've drifted a long, slow way. You can let it go where the day went. You can let it thin out into the dark. There's nothing left in it to solve, and there never was. It was only a quiet way of saying the one kind thing there is to say at the end of a night like this, that you are held and that you can rest. Held and never quite touched, apart from everything by the smallest of gaps, and held by everything across that very same gap, both at once, gently apart and gently kept, far enough from the world that it never has to fall into you, and near enough that all its warmth still crosses. That's where you are tonight. That's where you've always been, floating the tiniest distance above it all and carried the whole night through. You don't have to follow me any further. I'll keep wondering a little low, the way you'd keep a small light on in another room, but you can stop listening now. You don't have to make sense of the words anymore. Let them blur. Let them go soft at the edges and run together and become just a sound, a warmth, a nearness in the dark, crossing the little gap and arriving in you as nothing more than comfort. That's all they ever were. You can let them be that and let them go. Let it all go quiet now. The room is holding the dark. The dark is holding you. And underneath the dark, the bed, and underneath the bed, the floor, and underneath the floor, the patient ground, and all of it, all the way down, holding, the way it has held every resting thing since the very beginning. None of it touching you, all of it keeping you. You don't have to do a single thing. You are held all night. You can let the whole weight of yourself go. Something patient has you just above everything, across the smallest of gaps, asking nothing at all. Carried, kept, apart from everything and held by everything at once. There is nowhere to be. There is nothing to follow. There is only the warmth coming across the little space, the way it always has, and you here, growing heavy and slow and soft in the dark. Let your thoughts go wherever they like now. They don't have to come back. Let the last of the wondering settle, like dust settling in a still room, down and down, until it rests. You are held. You are kept. You are carried all night, just above everything, and never quite touched. And that is a soft thing. Rest now. Let go. The gap is small. The holding is sure. Nothing is lost. Just the warmth crossing. Just the weight set down. Just you here held. Just breathing on its own in the dark. Just the dark. Just this. Held